Welcome back to the channel. This is Roshan with x2’s. Hope you enjoyed the video and watch to the end. Peace out. If you're looking to watch basketball, of course you're going to go to the NBA first, as it's the highest level of basketball you can get to. Of course there's other leagues, but this is the league you go to if you're trying to watch basketball and see all the all-time greats that are being made today and watch the highlights of players from back in the day. But we all know there's been NBA Dream teams. We're in the biggest era of super teams that there's been in the NBA. There's always been super teams in the NBA, but nowadays, with the possibility of LeBron, Kawhi, and AD, when I post this video, maybe Kawhi's on the Lakers. And of course, we know there'll be more and more super teams as the years go on. And now in this video, I'll be giving my dream team, my starting five at least, and how I think you build a dream team, different type of players and dynamics you need within the starting five to be the best team in the NBA and win a championship. And I'll be giving my all-time starting five and my reasons for my picks. I think the number one thing you need for a team, not necessarily the most important, but the first one, you need bucket getters, you need scorers. You got many choices for a starting five. Guys like KD, Kobe, MJ, Kareem. We know who the best scorers of all time are. Of course, with Kareem having the most points, KD being one of the most versatile, and Kobe and MJ just being able to pour buckets in as they wish. And I think this is the number one important thing you need for a team, especially a starting five. You need guys who could just pour in buckets for you if you need buckets late. Second to scoring, I got defense. I think it's just as important. Got different players, offensive-minded players, defensive-minded players, but you need someone on your team who prides himself in playing defense, and you need people who can put on straps on the best player on the court and neutralize them. And I think this is just another component that you need to win a championship. You need to have one of the best starting fives in the NBA. Third, I got chemistry. I think this is an underrated one. If your team doesn't mesh, they can't win a championship. And they don't have to be best friends, but they have to be able to put their differences aside to really go out and do what's important and win. And the best teams, of course, have great chemistry. And like I said, put their differences aside. And they need to be able to have each other's backs. You might need an enforcer on your team to kind of protect the team and keep them together. You need certain glue guys to keep the team meshed and focused. Fourth is versatility. You can't have guys that are all just bucket getters, all playmakers. Guys who are heavy on ball, need the ball to be successful. If you have that and that's all you have, you can't really win. Your team is not going to mesh. And this plays into the fifth and final step I think you need to build your NBA dream starting five. And versatility is important, so you have every aspect of the game on one team, and of course, like I said, win the championship. Last but not least, I got the ability to play off ball. If you don't have any players who can play off ball, you're not going to be successful. If you have all playmakers, all scorers, like I said, for the fourth one, you're not going to be successful. You need those guys who could maybe take a step back, not have the ball, become spot-up shooters for certain players who are going to play make for them and get them open shots. Many people see the point guard as the most important position on the court, the guy that facilitates, gives people open shots, and that runs the offense. Of course, a great choice for my starting five at the point guard position will be Magic Johnson. And this is just one choice. This isn't my final pick for point guard, but I'll just run through some of the all-time great point guards first before I make my final choice. Magic Johnson is the best passer of all time. 5 rings, him and Kareem, one of the best duos of all time, might be the best liquor duo of all time. Magic is just one option among many great point guards. Another great option for point guard is, of course, John Stockton, the best Jazz point guard of all time. Has the most assists of all time over the course of his career. So you know he'll be able to get guys open shots in your team. He'll share the ball and he'll facilitate and playmake, which is what you want for your traditional point guard. And he's another great option along with Magic. Third, you got Oscar Robertson, of course, another great all-time point guard. Yet another choice, not my final choice. But him and Kareem, of course, got it done, and we were able to win a championship. So Oscar Robertson is yet another point guard you could choose for your all-time starting five. Now, of course, I think this is pretty obvious. For my point guard choice, I'm going to go with Magic. Stephen Curry, man. He can spread the floor like no other. He's, of course, the best shooter of all time. He can really run your offense. He can play make for your offense, give other people open shots. Most importantly, he spreads the floor. And how I ran through my list for how to build the NBA Dream Team. The box he doesn't check his defense, but his great chemistry, great scoring. He could play off ball, he could run off screens, and most importantly, he's not going to butt heads with any of your players. Secondly, with the shooting guard, many people see it as just as important as a point guard, and today, with positionless basketball being a big part of the game, there's not much difference between point guards and shooting guards. And of course, the first one we could talk about, Michael Jordan, the GOAT. There's no way you can go wrong with this pick. And this is not my final pick, but he could do everything. He could facilitate. It's not his strongest attribute though. He could score the ball. One of the best defensive guards in NBA history, and obviously a great choice. Not my final one though. Another obvious great choice, secondly, is Kobe Bryant. Next to Steph Curry, Curry wouldn't have a problem taking a step back, of course, because Curry can move off the ball very well, and he wouldn't mind letting Kobe facilitate. Not my final choice. Here comes my final choice here. Now with the shooting guard, I gotta go with Klay Thompson. The fit with Curry is obviously going to work seamlessly. With them being teammates in the Golden State Warriors, the Splash Brothers, the off-ball movement's going to be perfect. They're not going to butt heads. Now with my small forward, not every position is going to be the best at the position. Not every position I could put a shooting guard at small forward or shooting guard at point guard if I really want to. But my 1-2 punch, my shooting guard, point guard right now is Curry and Klay. Here comes small forward. Third, we got the NBA small forward. Many people see this as the score first guy on their team or the best wing defender. And of course, the first choice, LeBron James. He's the best small forward of today and of all time. He can do everything. Being a pass first guy, he can still average 28 plus for you. And as he gets older, his defense goes down and down, but he can focus more on being a point guard for these Lakers. And this is just one choice. And I also think he fits with Curry and Klay because Curry and Klay allowed KD to fit his seamlessly with the Warriors. I think they could do the same with LeBron, but again, this is not my final choice. Another pick you can't go wrong with at small forward is Kevin Durant. He's 7 foot, could do everything, could put it on the floor, could shoot, could play a bit of defense later in his career. And again, obviously he fits with Curry and Klay. We saw that they won 2 championships, but I'm not going to go all Warriors. And here's my real pick at small forward. My final choice at small forward is Michael Jordan, and I know he's not a traditional small forward, but this is what I was talking about with positionless basketball and not always having a certain position at the position that they're listed at. Michael Jordan at small forward. I think Curry and Klay could take a step back for MJ. He'll be the main ball handler. He'll be the main scoring option, the first scoring option. You won't have to worry about much facilitating, just putting the ball in the basket. And Curry, some other players can worry about facilitating, getting guys open shots. And fourth, of course, we got power forwards. The big man next to the center. Not quite as big as the center, but still very important. And of course, the first one you think of is Tim Duncan. He could do it all. He could score. He could rebound. Play defense. And he's a great passer for a big man. He's the greatest scorer of all time. The greatest power forward. Obvious great choice. And he'll work seamlessly with Curry, Clay, and MJ because he's a very quiet guy, but he's also a leader. He doesn't really butt heads with anyone, have problems with anyone, so he'll fit in that aspect. And also he knows how to share the ball, so he won't have a problem with MJ isoing and MJ controlling the offense. So this is obviously a great choice, but not my final one. Another great choice, of course, is Dirk Nowitzki, 7 foot from Germany, can shoot the lights out, can play in the post. Of course, we all know his famous move, the one-leg fadeaway. This team doesn't need shooting with Curry and Clay, but it could not hurt. But here comes my final power forward option. And now, similar to Michael Jordan, I'm putting Kevin Durant at power forward, even though that's not his traditional position. He's 7 foot. He could, of course, play power forward. He has chemistry with Curry and Clay, winning 2 championships with them. And I don't think he'll have problems with MJ because he has no problem playing off ball to Curry. So, of course, he'll be able to defer a bit to MJ too. And he could do everything on the court. He could put it on the floor. He could play pretty good defense lately. He could shoot, of course, and he could play off ball. My 4 so far are Curry, Clay, MJ, and KD. Here comes center. Last but not least, got the center position. Big guy down low. When you think of right away, Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant center of all time. One of the best Lakers. Of course, one of the best Lakers centers. Also, this is a great option. I think he fits with all the rest of the guys because all the rest of the guys aren't going to either dominate the paint. Curry, Clay, MJ. KD could all play in the perimeter and mid-range. As Shaq dominates down low in the post. Another guy, think of Bill Russell. 11 rings, dominated the old school NBA. Defensive monster, again, can dominate the paint because his teammates won't have to. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, patented skyhooky ass offensive talent, most points of all time. But my final choice is Shaquille O'Neal. I want a guy who could dominate my paint. It's hard to score on him too. He's 7 feet. One of the biggest players of all time. Again, one of the most dominant, and this is my starting 5. And finally, this is my all-time dream starting 5. Point guard, got Stephen Curry. Shooting guard, Klay Thompson. Small forward, Michael Jordan. KD, power forward. And center, Shaq. Not every position is the best player at the position of all time, but who I think could fit the best. Of course, with the 5 steps I gave at the beginning of the video, how I think you build a dream starting 5. Got Curry to facilitate and space up the floor. Clay, splash brother, to spread out the floor even more, and a great two-way player, great all-ball defender. MJ, don't really need an explanation for MJ, small forward. KD can play off ball, has good chemistry with the Splash Brothers. Of course, won a ring with them, 2 rings. Can shoot the lights out, can put the ball on the floor and Shaq down low to dominate my paint. And he's really gonna be the only one down there most of the time, so the paint's all his. Thank you guys for watching. This is my all-time dream starting 5. I welcome you back to the channel if you love the NBA. Subscribe for more content, and video on Kawhi Leonard should be out on Wednesday. Alright, peace.